Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day because this is another beautiful day here in Arizona. So today we're out here with Pioneer again, my favorite toy, and we are going to put a few more lights on it. Now I know I am one that says I don't like more lights than a Christmas tree on my Pioneer or any off-road vehicle. But I have found that when I'm out desert riding at night with friends, and I don't do a lot of night riding, I could use just a little bit more light. So this light right here is awesome. The problem is it shoots straight out, and then if I'm running the lows or the highs, there's just not a ton of light output. And where I'm needing more light is just a little bit off to the sides. But my problem is I don't want to drill more holes in the dash. I don't want to drill more holes in the Pioneer. I don't want to do any of that. So what if I could tell you, you could add a light bar or pod lights like I'm going to do today without adding any switches, anything. You can use the factory headlight switch. Let me show you what I mean. So I'll put a link in the description below of where I got this. I went to the Honda side-by-side forum and they have a store. And on that store, they have this. And what is this? Well, this plugs in to your Pioneer and it allows you to put a set of pod lights, a light bar, anything you pretty much want to. And when you turn on the high beams on your Pioneer, the factory switch, it activates them. So you can use this in one of two ways. You can use this either standalone and wire it directly into a small set of LED pod lights, or you can wire this into a relay to run some massive light bar. So I've already checked the amperage. I'm going to run this just into a set of pod lights. Now, where am I going to put these pod lights? The funny thing is, when I bought this Pioneer, I bought bunches of stuff for it because it was on sale on Amazon or was given to me. So I went through my box of tricks and I actually found another set of pod lights. I think I got like 4 or 6 more of these, a couple of mountain back bumpers and whatnot. So I found some mounts. So first thing I gotta do is I'm gonna decide how I'm gonna put the mounts. Do I want to put the mounts where it's on the outside of the roll cage, or do I want to put it on the inside of the roll cage? I'm going to start off with the inside of the roll cage because honestly, it's only 2 bolts, and I can swap them back and forth pretty easy. It's 2 bolts to take this off and 1 for the light. Now that I've decided I'm going to put this on the inside of the roll cage, I need to remove the 2 bolts. It's a 19 and a 17 millimeter. Now, I haven't decided yet because I haven't gotten this put in there, but the bolts that go in this roll cage are pretty short. Right there. And there's not a lot of extra room on them. So I'm going to put this mount in there. I'm going to see how it looks. If the bolt isn't flush to the end, I'll probably go to the hardware store and get some more grade 8 bolts. Now hindsight's always 20/20. I don't know how long ago I ordered these mounts. I ordered them from China or somewhere. You know, they're probably 15 bucks at the time. I just haven't got around to installing them. And I just remembered why. If you look at these mounts, they don't fit. So this part right here will go in. But if you look right down here, see I can get the bottom, but I can't get the top. Because let's see if it shows in there. It's just not enough room. So what I did is I took this mount just like this that doesn't fit because it's too much material right here. And I went to a cutoff wheel and I just cut this out. Now this doesn't bother me. There's not a lot of meat left there, but it's holding a light. So let's line these up and you can see I didn't cut much out. Probably cut just a tad too much. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to file this sharp edge off the file real quick, and then I'll hit this with some rattle can, and then we're going to go ahead and get this mounted up just like this. So that's for the mounts, and then we're going to do the wiring. Well, now that I've decided how I'm going to mount the mounts and put the LED pods on the inside, I've gone ahead and trimmed off the extra material. I've painted them and they're drying in the sun. So I'll wait for those to dry. We're going to go ahead and get started on this wiring. So make sure that if you're doing any type of wiring, you either run a relay or you've done the math you know exactly how many amps that you're going to be pulling through the factory switch. I've done my math and I should be good. So let's get started on this. So on here, if you look, this plug goes right here. This is your headlight switch. So the first thing you're going to do to put this harness in is you're going to pull up in here. There's a little tab. I've already undone it. And this is going to pop out. So on the harness I'm going to put in there, you can see the tab right there that you're going to pop out. So this is really simple, other than I have these extra battery wires for my dual battery kit. This is just plugs in like that. And then it's really stiff wires. Make sure not to damage a pin. And you hear it click in. So from there, that is in. Now, we're just gonna disconnect this and we have our wires. So what I'm gonna be able to do is I'm gonna run this probably all the way over to right over here. Tuck this up, and then I'm gonna go from this light, then I mount it there, run the wires over, and then all 3 sets of wires will be soldered and heat shrinked right here, and then I'll have this quick disconnect plug. Now, for those of you wondering, I did remove these pop rivets here and the 2 screws. These are a 5mm Allen head, and that way I can run my light pod, and I'm gonna put the wires right down into there. So the next step I need to do is I need to go ahead and I need to make the wires from this side all the way over. And to do that, I went ahead and I got some nice 16 gauge wire and wire loom. I'll also heat shrink the ends of it. So I can go ahead and I can build the lights and the wires right here on the table. It's out here in the garage. Someone's supposed to come pick it up. So why not utilize it? And then that way when the mounts are dry, we can go ahead and all we gotta do is bolt everything up and test it. So now I have both lights mounted up. One thing I'm probably gonna do is I know I'm gonna go to the store and get some shorter bolts with a locking washer. But in here, let's see if you guys can see this. I am like 1 or 2 threads shorter than I wanna be. It's just barely from the edge of the nut. So I'll go get some grade 8 hardware. I'm gonna replace all 4 of these on both sides. But here's how I'm going to wire this up for those wondering. I took the light, I already went ahead, I soldered these 2 connections together and heat shrink it. I have some wire loom. And I'm going to put a piece of heat shrink there. It's going to go all the way across. I'm going to go down underneath here, obviously. And I need to trim this to length. And I'm going to essentially wire. I will put all 3 of these pieces together, just like this. That way I have a quick disconnect, and then these will come up under here, and then this plug, I'll tidy that up just a little bit more and zip tie everything up. So that way when I turn my brights on, these pod lights will come on, but they only come on with the brights. I won't be using them that much, but again, I have this stuff laying around. I might as well install it. I've been doing a little bit more night riding lately, so let's put it on. It doesn't cost me anything other than this plug adapter, which I really like. It's a really well-made adapter. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get the wires ran, soldered up, and then let's see how that looks. Well, there we have it. So I've got the lights mounted, not aimed. I'm gonna change out those bolts here shortly. I did get the wires soldered on that side, ran all the way over here, soldered here. As you can see, I put some heat shrink. I couldn't do it here. I have my plug. This plug goes down to this T harness. So before I get everything this side finished run, zipped up, zip tied, put away, we need to go ahead and see if these work. So the way this should work is if I turn a key on, and I have my low beams are always on, If we flip the switch, and look at that. Well, that's it for our install. I'll put a clip of what this looks like at night between the big light bar, the two small ones, lows and highs, right here. Okay, so we have low beams with a light bar. Turn that off. Low beams, and then the high beams with the light pods, and then the light bar. Well, there you have it. This install is super easy, and you really can't complain when you can buy a piece that plugs into your factory harness. Now, I know I've said in the past, anything extra that I put on here goes through my auxiliary battery. And if I do seem to have troubles with this, I can just rewire it and run the trigger switch that activates the lights into a relay and wire the power directly to my auxiliary fuse box for the lights. So don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time.